All right, man. So there is a Congressman, Tom Emmer, and he submitted a bill to ban central bank digital currencies. I think that there is a great confusion between, digital currencies and cryptocurrencies. Okay, digital currencies are it's just money on the internet. Okay, it's the same thing as Robux that you kids play on the Roblox game. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as buying like coin in Farmville or something like that. Okay, it's just money that lives on the internet, and it's controlled by some kind of central authority. You know what I mean? Like there's a company or an institution that has complete control over the currency, its distribution, can track all the payments on it, can deny payments, reverse payments, some of the things that are probably going to come out of the U.S. government switching to central bank digital currency. And this is not conspiracy theory. If you look up, I've been saying this since it happened, okay? If you look up March 21st, I think it was 2020, okay? Right when the beginning of the pandemic, the first stimulus bill already had language in it that would approve of and institute a digital currency, a central bank digital currency, okay, CBDC. So these CBDCs are, this is what they want to do, right? The government wants to do a CBDC. Why do they want to do a CBDC? Because cash is too anonymous. It's too liquid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they print it willy-nilly all they want, and that's the part that they're going to maintain in the CBDC. But what they want to be able to do is track all your online payments, take taxes, at the moment of, you spending the money, right? Like all this stuff becomes automated. The other thing is that central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are susceptible to attacks because anytime, what we've learned from Bitcoin being the most secure database to ever exist, right? Unhackable. What we know from Bitcoin is that, transparency and decentralization is truly the only defense you really have against hackers, right? If you have some kind of honeypot somewhere where, it's online and people are trying to get to it, it's not a matter of if they can get to it. It's a matter of when. Hackers and, bad actors who have, digital infiltrating capabilities, and the higher the reward, the more resources they'll deploy to it. But these people will just attack whatever resource you have out there. They're really good, and they'll just stay on it for very long periods of time. And so, it's not, when you have a honeypot, like a centralized database of resources, or even if it's among 3 servers or 10 servers or 100 servers, like a small amount of people who are having control and access to a payment system, these people are going to just hack it at some point. You know what I mean? It's not about if they're going to do it. It's about how long it will take them to do it. The difference between that and Bitcoin is that the database for Bitcoin is spread amongst hundreds of thousands, and I think maybe we're at 1 million computers now. But anybody can download it and hold. The hackers themselves can download it and examine it and be a part of its security. You know what I mean? And because there's no weak point, because all the access points are spread so thinly out there, there's no way to like really hurt the entire system. You know what I mean? Like I could take down 10 computers in Wuhan that are mining Bitcoin, and I can try to fudge the what do you call it, the ledger there, but it's only 10 computers. Like I have like maybe 500 or 700,000 computers left to go, maybe 900,000 computers left to go. I have to go hack all those computers in order for me to compromise the ledger, because when I compromise these 10, Bitcoin is checking it against all the other ledgers that are out there, and it's saying, hey, why are these 10 different from these other 900,000? You know, I don't even want to know why. We're just going to remove those inputs and outputs and take that off the ledger. Okay, so hey, everybody, just let you know, ignore these 10 computers that are stupid. And that's what it does, right? So, you know, central bank digital currencies, they're susceptible to attack. Like it's not even, yes, they're going to be attacked. Yes, it's going to get hacked, okay? Experian, TransUnion gets hacked. All your banks get hacked every single day, okay? To think that, you know, the current system that they've had for years and years and years, recreating that same exact system, just, you know, the only thing they're changing is they're not instituting paper money, you know what I mean? To think that that's not going to get hacked, I mean, you're naive, you know what I'm saying? No matter what kind of story they want to tell you, or if Bill Gates, or if they brought Steve Jobs back, or they uploaded his brain to the mainframe and he's the one designing it, I don't care what they're talking about. If they're not operating from a decentralized, distributed ledger model, it's not secure, period, point blank, that's it, done. The other thing is, bro, all right, look, this is, I don't want to even say it's conspiracy theory. It's really not, if you think about it. If you look at history and the history of governments, but, you know, it's dystopian to say the least. You know, right now, there's a Democratic president, and, you know, the Democrats hold the majority of the entire political system, you know, of all three branches, right? Except maybe the judicial. But, regardless, you know, everybody wants to ban this person, cancel this person, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, these are dangerous games to play, you know, which people want to play them now because it's their team that's in charge, right? Which I really think next election, like, you know, Democrats are going to lose. But if Democrats lose and now Republicans get the seat and hold the majority of government, you know, who's to stop them from doing the same thing? You know what I mean? And if you were okay with it under the Democrats, principally, you have to allow it for the next party if they decide to come in. Now, we don't have central bank digital currencies right now, but let's say we did, right? And what if you thought somebody was spreading misinformation or just said something you didn't like, didn't agree with, you know, that you said was violence against somebody else because of what they were saying? And not only did we say, okay, cancel them from Twitter, cancel them from Facebook, you know, all right, we don't want to give them any favorable press, they're done, name is mud, blah, blah, blah. But what if we could turn off their digital wallet, just boop, and turn off their digital wallet? And now they can't spend the central bank digital currency. You know what I mean? They can't spend the CBDC at the supermarket or at the gas station. Now they're done. And if you're okay with it, because your party's in charge, principally, you'd be a hypocrite if you weren't okay with it because somebody else is in charge. And that's why it's a slippery slope to go down this rabbit hole of canceling people, you know, willy-nilly. Like, that's slippery slope here. You know what I mean? Because if one day the pendulum swings in the opposite direction and now somebody's able to turn off your wallet because you don't agree with, you know, something politically, you know what I mean? Or, you know, according to the science, you know what I'm saying? You just don't agree with it. And you want your own agenda for your own self, you know, and your folks. You want that to be played out. You know what I mean? What if somebody just turns off your thing? Boop, done, you're turned off. That's what you could do with central bank digital currencies. You know, it's not censorship resistant, which is what Bitcoin is, right? Nobody controls Bitcoin. Nobody can say you can pay this person this much and you can't pay that person that. Nobody can say that. Nobody can turn off your wallet. You know what I mean? Nobody even has to know your wallet is there. Central bank digital currencies, though, your wallet is going to be attached to your social security number. Sorry. And you're only going to be able to use that approved wallet because they control the whole system. You know what I'm saying? So Tom Emmer, congressman, he submit a bill saying that, look, man, this is like unpatriotic, un-American, unconstitutional, the central bank digital currency thing. It's a scary, it's a terrifying device that opens the floodgates into an invasion of privacy, a destruction, a deterioration, an obliteration of the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment at a scale that is unfathomable. He's right. He's right. He's absolutely right. And dude, if you think that printing money, quote unquote, which, you know, it's pretty digital right now, but if you think printing money, you know, was destructive to the value of the US dollar because of inflation, dude, making it digital, you know what I mean? Making it digital, you know what I mean? Making it digital, one node or 3 or 5 nodes, okay? You know, unlimited supply cap, unlimited distribution, right? And censorship, and censorship conducive properties, and also, you know, the ability to confiscate and what's the word? Garnish coins within wallets willy-nilly by the centralized node. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, these are all the opposite things that Bitcoin has. These are all the opposite attributes Bitcoin has. It's not just like people try to call cryptocurrencies digital currencies. They are not. You don't know, like, if you call Bitcoin a digital currency, you just don't understand either one of those things. You know what I mean? You've lumped them all into your brain into like, oh, well, it lives on the internet and it's a currency, so it must be a digital currency. Like, that's it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't understand it. You don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do more study. You feel me? But these are completely different things. You know what I mean? And, you know, people try to equate the two in a lot of different ways, and it's happening all over the language. You know, the argument is had all over the internet, and it's literally people who don't understand digital currencies or cryptocurrencies versus people who do. You know what I mean? But so Tom Emmer, you know what I mean, he's submitting this bill to ban central bank digital currencies. I think he's, you know, a child crying in the wilderness because, you know, they're not going to do that. They're not going to ban it. You know what I mean? This is the next phase. This is what they want to do, implement, you know, financially next. It's only next thing that they could do to have some kind of shot at potentially saving the US dollar, but it won't be saved. It won't. They're going to continue all the same practices. You know what I mean? Here's what you're going to find when CBDCs launch, right? Is after a year or two, people's wallets are going to be hacked. You know what I mean? Big, huge, massive wallets are going to be hacked. You know, you're going to find that the distribution, so the origination of the currency, right? Where it gets printed digitally, it gets distributed directly to people whose wallets are already massive. You know what I mean? People who have ridiculously large wallets to their name. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. The other thing that's going to happen is you're going to have somebody do some kind of audit at some point, right? And because it's digital, there's going to be some way to track it. Or if you can't track, you know, the amount that's created and the amount that's distributed, there's going to be a blind spot that you're going to find somewhere where it's going to be like, look, we can't see into this portion of data, but something's going on here. And on the other side of that data, there's a discrepancy, right? You're going to find those things that occur, okay? And, you know, you're going to find, I promise you, like, look, maybe I'm wrong, you know what I mean? But I'm going by past performance, you know what I mean? And then I'm thinking about logically the new system that's implemented. I look at shitcoins all day long. Like, people try to ask me about shitcoins all the time, you know what I mean? I know what a shitcoin looks like. I know the properties of a shitcoin. And, you know, here's what, and this, I've seen the things that happen with shitcoins, like, repeatedly, right? So here's the thing that you're going to see with CBDCs, is that you're going to see a distribution of a coin that's higher than the supposed amount printed. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. You know what I mean? This means that people are gonna, you know, in order to combat inflation, right? We want to put out numbers, like the Federal Reserve wants to put out numbers that are lower than the amount that's out there, right? Because then that makes people feel like, okay, well, shoot, man, you know, maybe inflation isn't so bad because look, you know, the number of the amount of currency that's out there, you know, is low because we've been printing a low amount of currency, right? What's going to happen with CBDCs is they're going to have that number, which is going to make people feel like, whoa, hey, maybe inflation, CBDC thing is a pretty good thing, and inflation is pretty cool, and blah, blah, blah. But then we're going to add up all the money in all the wallets, right? And we're going to see that, hey, wait a minute, we're spending more than coin that exists. We're spending more dollars, more digital dollars than digital dollars that are supposed to exist. Like, how's that possible? Mathematically, like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? But that's what we're going to find. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm sorry. That's how it's going to go. So, yeah, man, that's my 2 cents on CBDCs and cryptos. Bitcoin is not a digital currency. It is not a digital currency. It's a cryptocurrency. And in truth, it's the only one of its kind. Okay? In truth. So yeah, man, it's my 2 cents. Love you. Be safe. Got any questions? Holla at me. You feel me? I'm here. You know what I mean? Peace.